And we're live. Hey guys, welcome to Pints and Pistons.
Hi.
Yep, we got good sound.
Oh, we did it.
Are we doing something?
We
Yeah.
are. Well, actually, we're checking.
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you guys we're live.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Live. What are we doing? This
Live.
is New Year.
we're all alive.
Well, we are all alive, I
Yes.
think.
We did it. We got through 2020. Finally.
It's 2023, Chris.
Yes, we
Wait,
got through
what?
2020.
I just had to do math for a second. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
What year is it?
I bet that hurt.
Yeah.
2020's been a long year. It's 2023. I know.
Hey, it's officially 2023, which means it's the year of the Dale.
The year of the Dale.
Dale.
The Dale. It's a Dale year.
3.
Yep. It's a Dale year.
Oh,
New
yeah,
Dale.
yeah.
Yeah, year of the Dale.
Okay.
And Chinese New Year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's year of the Dale.
It's
Chinese
the
New
redneck
Year.
New Year. That's, it's better than the Raging Bull or.
The rabbit, like year of the rabbit.
Well, hold on. We talking about the Dale. We talking about that old car that never came to be.
Yeah, that was the first thing that popped in my head was Dale Earnhardt. The second thing that popped in my head was the car
Right.
that you were
The
talking
Dale.
about. Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah, did
What
you
a-
ever see the documentary?
The
about
Netflix
What a-
documentary was great.
That
The
was
Lady in the Dale.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, that
That was awesome.
That was on. I think that was actually on HBO that was on HBO or
they
Showtime
ended
before
up-
it ended up on
they
Netflix.
ended up
Yeah,
doing
but
it
yeah,
on
that
Netflix,
was
but still.
like I said, because I mean, I remember like seeing magazine articles, hey, whatever happened to this car, whatever happened to that car, and seeing like short blibbits about the whole story.
Uh-huh.
But then when you actually watch the whole thing, like
Don't
all
forget
the
to
way
pull up
through,
the YouTube thing to
That
put
was-
in chat. And did we do
that
the
was
title?
messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the title.
Okay.
Yep.
For the chat.
Oh yeah, don't forget the
Old
chat.
School Garage
Hey,
evening.
Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Howdy.
Yeah, we don't want to be like that one time where we were almost done with the episode,
And we're like,
you
oh,
weren't
yeah,
here
we've
'cause
got
you
chat
you
here, don't we?
messaged us, and I was like, it was
I'm
like
listening to the whole thing and
130
shit.
comments. And I'm like, oh,
Whoa.
We got the chat up tonight, guys, so feel free.
Yeah.
Please say hi in the chat. We do interact with you guys.
yeah, because we actually have it pulled up now.
Robert, evening.
Hi, Rob.
Evening, Rob.
Howdy.
Yeah, but yeah, no, new year, new us.
New us. Woohoo.
2023, starting off strong, taking a lot of people.
Yeah, like I say, I'm saying, your the whole celebrity death wish thing.
Well, I think
We-
before
we
that, I
didn't
think
do it yet.
we might need a beer before that.
Yeah, let's start off with a beer.
Me and Brian are good.
Mike.
Did they just do that to us?
Yeah, they just did.
Ouch.
I haven't been beer witch in a while, so guess I'll.
Oh, we also got our new
What we would start
coasters.
with?
I was gonna mention I love these.
Players pick.
Which
yeah, you pick.
yeah, beer bitch pick.
I do love these
And
coasters.
also, I'm
by the
probably
way.
going to give you back those god awful triple IPAs that you brought over for the thing.
Yeah.
They're sitting in my fridge. You get to bring them
I'll
home.
take them home.
Yes, because they.
Guess
So
what?
how was that chocolate stout you showed us the picture of?
Amazing. So
Really?
I went through that whole pack over the past few weeks. There was 7 stouts in it. The rest were IPA or
Ugh.
more. I've only had 2 of the stouts so far.
The ones
and
you
that-
brought over here were like the lowest. I think was a double dry hopped
Yeah.
IPA, and then there's I think one that's like a quadro jet. Like I looked at it, I'm like, it's
Figure
this is
Rochester
Quadra
Quadrajet
glass.
IPA. Thank you, Kraft.
For those who want a little beer with their hops.
Yeah.
Right. Jeez.
fucking rather lick the pine tree out back.
I had a guy call up saying he had a brand new Sorrento. He said, but make sure you get the right filter for the carbureted one. And I was like,
this thing's
what?
so cold. My poor fingers.
I-
Coors Light or Beetlejuice.
I said, do you mean turbocharged, sir? And he goes, what I say? I said, carbureted. He goes, yeah, turbocharged. And I was like, okay, you said carbureted. He's like,
Imagine
sorry.
throwing a fucking carburetor on a Sorrento.
Oh, we also...
I actually imagine.
Okay.
Hang on.
Right,
Let's
right.
go over this for a second. Not a carburetor.
Thermoquad.
Thermoquad would be kind of rad.
Well, no,
That Steve Dolcher would approve.
Exactly.
I know.
But I was thinking, what if you did like the adapter manifold and did 4 bike carbs on it?
Ooh,
Boom.
that would be cool,
Ooh.
though.
I mean,
Actually.
it might not work worth a shit. You
But
might
it
have
might
to.
sound good.
You might have to gut a lot of shit just to get the thing to make it run, and absolutely void some warranties in the process. But yeah, when you fired it up and you hammered on it, it would sound cool.
What about...
I've always.
I
looked at
purchased that one.
Okay.
I checked the beer list. It wasn't on there.
I have
so
seen that one
So many times, and I've wanted to try it.
let's do it, boys. I didn't buy an IPA this time.
Good job, buddy.
But I think I've sent a
That's
couple
an
of the guys'
entire history
videos
lesson in a song.
to the group chat, but in the videos. Robot
Cool.
Cantina, he put the lawnmower carburetor on the Saturn. Anyway,
What is it?
Not a twist.
no, they're Paparuskis. All right,
Hey.
what, are they high octane?
Yeah,
All right.
they're 9%.
Ooh.
All right, time for the mission
Alright.
to begin.
So, hey! All right, so guys, I brought the North Coast Brewing Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout.
He was the lover of the Russian queen.
It's Rasputin. It was brewed and bottled in Bragg, California. Old Rasputin, never say die. Contrary to what the name suggests, Russian Imperial Stout was originally brewed in the 18th century England. The name evolved as the Russian Imperial Court developed an early
wow.
appreciation for this big, intense brew and provided an eager export market. It's been speculated that no one has had a greater appreciation for this rich, roasty elixir than Rasputin, the mystic wag and favorite of the ladies of the court, who was the ultimate downfall of Tsar Nicholas II.
I think I accidentally poured it a little too hard.
It smells
You
delicious.
did the
though.
mic pour today.
It foamed up.
You
a
did the
lot.
mic pour.
All right,
It's got quite a head on it.
do you think I can?
Watch the beer glass.
New year, new you. No, it's same band.
Fail.
New year, new you.
Nope, same band.
Well, he got his beer can earlier,
I did.
and I thought I was going to
Okay,
miss because I
so
figured if he made it, he
I
was
have to
going
do
to mess
these
it up for
softy
all of us.
pours.
Yes, pour it softly.
Okay. Wow, it's syrupy.
But it smelled like
It smells good though. Hold on.
It does smell good.
I was getting there,
There's-
boys.
I'm trying
Oh,
to
man.
I'm trying to put my finger
Wait,
on.
hold on.
There's something else going on there. I'm trying to think of what style of beer
Wait,
is like popping at the end of the smell. It's like
is there fruity?
It's like there's like a twingy, like a tangy
twing.
smell.
Kinda.
Well,
But it
you
is-
know,
It has a citrus, an
It's-
orange
it does,
peel.
doesn't
It
it?
smells
That's
like
what it
orange
is.
peel.
That's what
Hey.
it is.
is it like, but it's.
It's dark.
You
Let me
can't see
do that
through
up
it.
to the camera.
You can't see through it though.
Oh my God, you can't see shit.
So it's like a
pure black.
it's like a stout Belgian wit.
I don't know if I'm getting the coriander side of it.
No,
But I'm
it's-
getting. I knew I was doing something citrusy.
but
I'm getting an orange peel smell though. Very
I want
strong.
to wait for Chris so bad, but I want
Dude,
some.
I'll pour in the rest later.
All right. Well, you know what?
I mean, yeah.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's, guys.
Cheers.
First
Cheers.
beer of
First beer.
2023.
Well, on the show.
Yeah.
And I and I
First televised beer of
First
2020.
and I
of
picked
many.
it. Oh man, it's orange. Oh,
It's like a chocolate orange.
Yeah.
it's like a chocolate.
And see,
It's
the
like a
crazy thing
chocolate
is-
orange.
The crazy thing
The-
is,
the-
this
the-
is,
the-
this
how
is
much-
a 9%. So just be
I don't
careful.
It doesn't taste like
But,
it.
but
Okay,
that's
I don't-
the thing.
Oats on the
I'm
end.
not
though.
really getting like chocolate, but I'm kind of thinking if
Maybe
I were
cocoa.
comparing it to chocolate, this would be like dark bitter or
Yeah.
dark,
Yes.
Like the
like the dark semi-sweet.
yeah
Like
That's what
98% cacao.
Yeah,
With
this
orange.
is this is like
with
a
a little
really
orange to it,
like
like orange
cooking,
nips
like
in it.
cooking chocolate.
Yeah,
But
this is
then,
like
but
a-
then you get like a really bean ending though.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. This is a really like
It is exceptionally smooth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
ridiculous.
smooth.
yeah, it really is.
it's ridiculous.
But then, like you were saying, with the orange, it's not like actually like biting into an orange. It is like the
there's a
zest.
there's a hint of it.
yeah. It's like the oil. Like it's more fragrant than flavorful.
And a cool
But
bottle.
it's yeah. Wow, that is.
Robert says you can trust a beer with Rasputin on it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is super smooth. That's what's blowing me away is how smooth
really
and
is.
subtle it is. It's not like mashing you in the face and overpowering you with
Wow.
alcohol at 9%.
But you know what I think I want to do?
Next time.
I think I want. Well, it's kind of hard with the weather. I want to let it get warm. Dang Dang.
You're gonna say next time?
Yeah, I
my
could-
friend Carl dresses up like Rasputin.
I love the bottle. The bottle's classy looking though.
Yeah,
Huh?
like I
foam
said,
is-
I've seen that. I've seen this in
the foam's
ABC a
even
bunch
good.
of times, but
I
I
have, and I've-
always looked at the 9% and kind of went, it might be a bit much for our deal, but
This ain't bad.
What's
This is
amazing is the head. I've got a lot of head on there. Giggity. It's very creamy.
good.
the whole beer is once you're
Like,
past
But the foam is like the foam is like having whipped cream on top. Stop being dirty. Get your mind out of the gutter.
What are you talking about?
Talking
Our
about
minds are
beer.
not. Our mind is not in the gutter.
I
It lives
can't-
there.
I
Our
can't
mind
reach the gutter.
is
Okay, I'm in the sewer.
The gutter.
He said I'm not tall enough
I'm
to
not
reach.
tall enough to reach it, so.
I can't get out of the gutter. I'm not tall enough.
But no, what I really want to do is
Wait for me. I got little legs.
exactly. I really want to get one of those beer caramelizers. Like those rods that you heat up and then it
Yeah.
Nothing to do with that.
I think it would be amazing to do it with this. Because there's a guy that I follow on TikTok that does like a lot of shitty beers and all that stuff. It's funny and that, but he just got a beer caramelizer and
Thing's
he did it to a Busch Light apple and that, and he's like it completely changed it. The beer was still the same, but the head that it did made it like a roasted marshmallow
Yeah.
taste. Plus the sweetness of the apple, he's like it made it like a full-on dessert beer.
Well, I
And
think
I'm like, what the hell?
Also,
That's-
this is pairing perfectly with the chili we just
oh
ate.
yeah,
I think it's
Oh,
safe
yeah.
to say,
I was
good
just
job,
thinking
North
that,
Coast Brewing.
because I just belched.
I
and tasted-
belched it up, and I got a little chili to it.
and
I
the
was
chili
like,
and the beer. And I was
"Whoa."
like, damn, too bad we didn't. Yeah, this with a bowl of chili would be freaking
Like, I could eat a bowl of that right now drinking this.
Good job,
this
North
with
Coast.
that prime rib from the other day.
North Coast knocked it
Oh,
out
yeah.
of the park with
Hell
that
yeah.
one.
Hey, this with that prime rib from the other night. Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of pairing beer with prime rib, Christmas I did a prime rib, and I had the last of my last snows, the Funky
yeah.
Buddha last snow. The
Beautifully.
pairing was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that,
Alright.
that is one of my favorites.
Random thing.
Random thing.
So,
Random
guys,
beer thing or random car thing or just
random car thing.
Okay, random car thing.
The new Toyota
Well, that was
Prius
certainly random.
Actually, it looks good,
is approaching us.
and I actually like it.
I'm not gonna lie,
It
that
looks
thing,
so fucking good.
that
No.
is the best looking Prius ever by a long margin.
It's one of those
But
that's almost the best looking Toyota in the lineup.
There's something else you don't know about it.
You can get body kits.
It's the fastest Prius ever produced.
Oh no! If you get the was it Prime? I guess is their top model. The thing makes like 220 horsepower.
0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds, baby. The fastest Prius ever
I was going to
produced.
say that's
Is
actually
that it? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
No, that's the current
No,
generation.
have you not seen the new one? It actually it looks amazing.
That?
Yeah, that. The red looks really good. Actually,
It's-
they have like a dark,
yeah.
like
It
a
looks
crystally
good.
red.
It looks good.
That
Got
looks
that,
kinda
got
dope.
that golden yellow color too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds, making it the fastest Prius ever produced.
It even looks
That's
good.
not-
Like
was
it
that a
looks good
schooling,
all the
Vinny?
way around. That is a properly designed car.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it looks so much better than like the last model. Oh, the
It
last
looks
generation
better than
before.
every
Yeah.
previous.
Well, no, I
Prius.
gotta say,
Like that's
was
one
it
of
the
their better
first-
looking cars they've ever made.
Was it the first or
looks good.
second generation Prius?
The first gen just kind of looked like a car. The
The
second
first
gen, is
gen
when they
Prius
went
looked like a Yaris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but no, the one that we got in Forza that we were able to put the Tommy Kira body kit onto it and all that. I'm talking about like Forza 4, way back in the day.
I'm
You
too
were
old
able
for
to
that.
do-
Second gen. That's
Yeah,
a second
yeah.
gen Prius.
And you were able to do the Tommy Kira
Yeah,
body
yeah,
kit,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it looked,
I agree,
it looked
Mike.
proper.
What?
He says he can't put fastest and Prius in the same sentence.
It's-
I know.
I had to bring
It's
it up. It's the
weird.
fastest Prius
But
ever made.
if you do, I
Okay, maybe
gotta
quickest
admit-
Prius. How's
Yeah.
that?
I
quickest
gotta admit,
Prius.
if you look at the new one, is it something I would buy? No, but they made it look. It's one of those now when I see it, when you go to see it on the road in the future, you're not gonna be like, Prius. It's gonna be like, oh, it actually doesn't, like, it's not hurting my eyeballs seeing it every single day.
Right.
Is what I
It's
was
as
trying to
good
say.
looking as the new Corollas are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The GR Corollas are dope. I would have
If
one.
you can get one.
I would have one if I could.
Afford it.
The new
If
we
you can
talked about
afford the
this
car
last
and the
episode.
dealer markup for it.
Yeah.
The new GR86 looks
Oh,
absolutely epic.
I've seen so many in public, and I'm
It
just like,
looks
"Ugh,
great."
ugh."
Cue the warranty claims for silicone in the oil pickup.
Oh well, it'll look good on a flatbed.
Right. It'll look good. It'll look like it's going fast being towed.
Yep.
So it's basic in an Alpha. There's a 50% chance it'll end up on the side of the road. It just won't be on fire like an Alpha.
Oh,
Right.
speaking of things that aren't of the domestic nature, have you gentlemen seen the new Maserati MC20?
No, I have not.
No.
Do Googles right now. Maserati MC20. It is
Hold on, I need to close out my porn.
one of the...
Just open up. Mike, just open up a new tab.
Maserati made a supercar again, finally. And it actually has
Oh.
been road reviewed and does proper supercar things.
Okay, so hold on.
Oh.
How do you spell
The Maserati M, like Mike, C, like
Chris.
Chris,
And
20.
the number 20.
20.
That's
MSRP, $212,000. 630 horsepower, 3-liter V6. I'm guessing there's some turbos on there.
Yes, sir. No hybrid.
MSRP starting at 212.
well. So
That's what
that's the thing.
No
So
tra-
what you do is you don't buy a Maserati new. You buy it used because
Then you'll be able to get it for
Maseratis just
$20,000.
plummets
Appreciate.
in appreciation.
They are the ultimate Ed Bolian,
Right.
Tavarish, Hoovy,
But see,
depreciated
but
But you
Yeah.
just find one that's like a year old, got 5,000 miles on it. You pick it up for like 35 grand.
They went kind of full pull into it though. The engine may be modern and the transmission may be, but there's no traction control. There might be ABS, but there's no other kind of crazy assists on the thing. It's a raw car.
I like it.
I'm looking at the actual Maserati website, and I didn't. Beyond the sky. Look how everything moves when you.
It's so pretty, isn't it? Beyond the sky.
Ooh, hey, yeah,
Hey.
because we're just-
Ooh, in pearl white, it looks banging.
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
that's what. Hey, I'm on the Maserati actual website for it, and in like that gray color,
All right. Are you ready for Daniel's next random thing?
that actually looks really good in like that gray color.
I
and,
dig that.
and unfortunately, this random thing will exclude a potential future Bring a Trailer car, but it's a thing that I learned recently. I actually told Chris about it. Chris, I know your week's been busy. You might not even remember. I'm sure you probably do, but anyway. So, I learned a thing.
That Bring a Trailer is really just a giant money laundering operation?
They're watching.
I'm just saying.
In 1995, Lotus stopped production of the Lotus Elan. You're familiar with the Lotus Elan,
Yes.
correct? Did you know that they sold all of the trademark rights to that car to another manufacturer that then continued it until 1999?
Which manufacturer was that?
Kia. And thus, the Kia Elan Vitago was born. Looked kind of like a Lotus Elan on the outside, except with Kia logos everywhere. A interior that looks like it belongs in a 90s Rio. And instead of the 1.6 turbocharged engine,
Oh, the
Interior that
weird-
belongs in a 90s Rio. So it has a better interior build quality than a Lotus?
Yeah.
That's true.
True. And it did have funky colors on the seats, too.
Because
Yeah.
Lotus was like, okay, we got the outside done.
Well,
what do we do for
especially
the
at that
inside?
point, 'cause you're talking about
Well,
the
we've
front-wheel
got these
drive one,
lawn
right?
chairs
That
laying
weird-
around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that thing was fucking horrible.
But then
I just remembered Hammond driving in that one thing. They're like, "You got the wrong car."
here's where it won me. They took out the 1.6 turbo Lotus engine. And they put in the Mazda sourced 1.8 liter BP engine.
Made by Kia.
Made by Kia. But an amped up version that made 150 horsepower.
Made by Kia.
Made by Kia.
Let's put that addendum on there. It was designed by Mazda, but made by Kia.
So still had better build quality
Rather
than
than
Lotus.
yeah. Gonna say what you're saying is you found a
I am
better
real.
built car than
just,
the original.
I just dropped the
I mean-
absolute biggest shit hammer on Chris's brain right there.
But I mean, like,
Outside styling was slightly different. But no, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The Kia Elan is actually more rare than the actual Milan because it was such a lowly produced vehicle. They only made 1,056 units between 1996 and 1999.
Yeah, but
However, there's probably more of those
them on
alive
the
and on the
road.
road than the
The regular
Lotus built
Lotus.
I
ones.
have to come back at this, though. We have to circle back around to this.
because your car broke
saying
down.
that the Kia version is better than the Lotus version is saying my car burnt down because oil caught fire is better than saying my car burnt down because the electrical system caught fire.
Yeah.
It still burnt down.
Yeah.
It
but
just burnt down in a different way. It was an electrical fire
it
and
went
not...
further before it burned down.
Maybe.
The interior didn't fall apart completely before it burned down.
You've never owned an early 90s Kia. Or
You
seen
apparently
been in one.
you apparently have never looked inside a brand new early 90s Lotus.
I know, they were falling apart before they got off the truck.
Exactly.
But so were Kias.
Not at the same rate.
Look around and tell me how many
See, but it
early
didn't come
Kias
in
you
on
see
a
around.
truck like you thought it came in. It actually came in on a flatbed to the dealership. Going,
Yes,
hey,
because
it broke down in the factory.
It broke down.
Look at the size of my penis.
Woo, doggy. I got a big old truck.
Sorry, I
Sorry.
thought we were about to see some penis. You're like, where? What's going on?
Remember, family friendly.
Oh, family friendly, yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Thanks, Dan.
get you some.
I'm just saying, car burnt down one way or another.
He said, I'm just saying, it was a vicious death. And
Yeah, but I still broke your brain there for a little
You
bit.
did. For a split second, my brain went, "Argh!" Hold on. We got to think about this for a second.
And there's that
No,
niggling
no.
there's that niggling thought in the back of your brain going, you know, you just heard Morgan Freeman going, he's not wrong.
Well, so anyway, there was a Kia Lotus hybrid thing floating around in the 90s for a while. Not here, though, of course. Not in our market. But the steering wheel on it looked like it belonged to the Kia Sedona. It was like a big, fat airbag steering wheel. And it said Kia. Excellent.
The misses continue.
Thank
Hey.
you.
All I know is I made my one shot. I'm not going to shoot anything else in there tonight because I know if I do, I'll miss.
Hey,
Right now, my record's perfect.
that's how I got my wife.
So,
Tech tips.
tech tips?
Yes.
Tips of tech?
Tips of tech.
Any kind of, like, hacks
Well,
you've
Chris,
learned over
Chris
the
had
years?
one good
down,
thing that
right?
he was talking about earlier when we were all eating dinner and getting ready and all that about the not only used car but also new car market, right? Or was
So,
it just
yeah.
used car?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much I want to reveal about that because,
Okay.
you know, that's privileged insider information.
Yeah, a little inside baseball going on.
But be ready because the car market about to be lit.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to.
well,
I mean,
it's
You
one of those-
about to be able to walk into a car dealership with a 530 credit score, and they're just going to be like, yeah, no, whatever you want, man. You want a Scat Pack? We can hook you up. We got you set.
Oh no, Scat Pack, you just need a 392. It's on the side of it.
it's the only car that has the credit
But
score right on the
You know
fender.
what's funny too is I'm still occasionally seeing Carvana ads,
Sorry,
and
I
for
just saw
some,
Chris's head again. Go.
That's twice in a row, guys. Twice in a row.
but I've been seeing Carvana ads recently, and it's funny because for some reason, no matter how it's scripted, you can add the words "and bankrupt" at the end, and it goes with the ad.
Right.
yeah, no,
They're trying to push cars hard right now.
They're
yeah.
trying to
Oh,
get
they're-
rid of them.
because
I know.
and they're already losing. They were already
Oh, yeah.
losing their ass on cars because they were overpaying for used cars to try to build up their inventory to get all of this crap rolling, and then COVID happened, and then the used car market tanked for like 8 months, and then
skyrocketed.
oh crap, we can't build new cars because supply chain issues. Prices went nuts, priced a lot of people out of the market, so their cars really didn't move. And now we've got interest rates that are going higher, which honestly should have happened about 15 years ago. But anyway, so now there's just like this perfect storm of the people that were going to go ahead and buy cars at inflated prices have already done so.
Yeah.
The rest of us are still going, nah, I don't think so. I'll
Not
just
yet.
keep what I have.
Hold.
I'll just
Hold.
keep. I'll
But
just, you know what?
I was
I'm
gonna
just
say,
gonna ride
what
this
you're
storm
talking
out.
about might be the thing everybody's been holding for,
Well,
though.
it's
Right.
But no, it's kind of
it's-
like, but let's kind of like at this point, it's kind of like I said, the people who were going to overpay for cars because FOMO or they just absolutely had to have a new car. Oh my God, whatever. They did. There's no more of them left.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us are like, I'll just keep what I got. I'll just ride this shit out and just nurse my shit box
just,
along. And
just even looking at like Facebook Marketplace and all that stuff, I've been noticing that prices on
are
certain
dropping.
things are starting
Everything
to
is,
finally
yep.
drop again. I mean, not crazy, not to like where it used to
Slightly.
be or anything
It's-
like that, but it's one of those to where like a car that used to be $5,000 all of a sudden went up to like $15,000. Now it's at about like $12,000.
Right.
So it's like it's
It's
going in
slowly.
the right direction.
Right.
And that kind of righting itself, but it's also one of those like right now, like hell, our local Ford dealership. You look at it. This is the first time in
there's
year
been
plus,
anything
there's-
that even looks like inventory on the new car
yeah,
side.
on a new car,
Right.
because it was to the point to where they were parking everything nose to tail, trying to fill it in. Now they actually have it to where they're parked in their normal parking spaces,
Right.
and I'm like, holy crap!
And
the,
I've also noticed at the same dealership, I've noticed that
the used car section
used
isn't
cars
as big
is-
as
the
what
used
it
car
ended up
section is
getting.
still pretty full, but everything's sitting there a lot longer.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it was.
Well, like I said, I'm seeing one of the things I've seen is recently I've seen Dodge started to advertise rebates.
Yeah.
$2,500 rebates on brand new car. We ain't seen that in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been a year and a half since we've seen anybody offering any type of factory
I was gonna
rebates.
say, you
Yeah.
used to see all the
Which
commercials about,
means-
hey,
Yeah, yeah,
end
prior-
of year
yeah.
sale, this, that.
Right,
And
which
I
means you're
mean-
seeing cars that have started to sit.
I mean, like prior to COVID, there was always all the dealerships were always and all the commercials and everything. They were always talking about throwing cash on the hood.
Right,
And then
$7,500 rebates on
And then
stuff.
COVID hit, and for about 8 months there, there was absolutely some deals to be had. I'm still kind of wished I would have bought a car then.
Oh yeah, because during that point it was to the point they needed sales. There was nothing going on, so they needed
Yeah.
sales.
The,
so
the
they would
biggest
get it.
deal I saw
They just
that,
needed to get metal out of their inventory.
Yeah.
honestly, I wish I would have taken advantage of when I had the chance was Ford. Ford's early COVID sale they had
with
going
like
on.
the Rangers and all that shit.
84-month, 0% APR. Doesn't matter what you're buying. 84 months at 0%.
Yeah.
You're literally just
Paying.
on the car. There's no interest.
Yeah.
That's a deal. You're talking
Yeah,
there's
but
that's
and-
9-10 grand off the
and-
price of
and
the
you have-
car.
and
But
you
not
had
only
the
that,
people
but
that
that was
got
in addition to cash on the
Yeah.
hood.
Right.
Anybody that did that deal did good.
Right.
They did good.
No,
Like,
that
it-
was the one thing that was a special offer, which meant it didn't qualify for any of the other
Rebates.
rebates. So you
But-
paid MSRP
but
for the car.
Still, even though it was 84
But that
months
was also
and
the
all
kind of deal that if
but-
you weren't financing, if you were just going to buy a car outright and you got the cash on the hood, you killed.
Yeah.
Before
You absolutely killed.
before the market madly jumped, I am still kicking myself in the booty for. I
That
should.
Porsche, right?
Well, not that, but the Corvette too.
Oh yeah.
I was going to trade my car for two different cars. My payment was going to stay the same, but extend for another like 2 or 3 years from what it already was. And I was looking at a 01 911 6-speed
Oh, yeah.
with the IMS bearing replaced and everything. And then I was also looking at a
So that was,
which is a good thing.
That was a 996.1.
correct. And I was also looking at a 2012 Corvette 2LT fully loaded with a 6-speed in it. And I should have got one of those cars.
Now,
'cause
was
when
the IMS
when,
bearing
when the
replaced?
market
Now-
exploded.
Now,
like,
was that IMS bearing just replaced with a stock IMS bearing, or did
No,
it
they
have
did
the
that. They did the whole.
the bushing?
No, it was
mod?
done at a
They
Porsche
did,
dealer in Tampa.
Yeah, but did
and it
they-
was with
but-
the updated bearing
all
and
the
everything.
updates.
So it still had the bearing.
Yeah,
Okay, because the real fix for that is
they
that
eliminate the bearing altogether.
Yeah, they eliminate the bearing and they do an oil-fed bushing.
Yeah,
But what Porsche did for 996.2 was they got rid of that block
Correct.
entirely,
correct.
and they went back and basically used a Metzger air-cooled block with the water-cooled heads on it. And that solved all that problems because that intermediate shaft was no longer there.
Yeah.
I want a Porsche so badly.
Speaking
though,
of
still.
Porsche, I got to drive one last weekend.
Yeah.
A 2000.
What was it?
What year is his Boxster? The one he has now?
I don't know.
2010 or 2011.
Was
But
it
it's
a-
got 7-speed PDK.
Was it an S or a?
I don't know if it's an S or not, but it's got 7-speed PDK, and he did
Fantastic
the
transmissions.
factory Sport Plus upgrade to it.
Okay, so it probably is an S then. It's got the bigger flat 6 in it.
It said it was making about 255 horsepower. Is what
Okay,
it
no,
rated
that's a
at.
base then. That's a base. It's
But
got
like
the
I said,
smaller
but he
flat six,
added
but-
the factory
Yes, sir.
Porsche installed Sport Plus option, Sport Plus Chrono option
I'm saying he had that done
at the dealer. That's the only way you can have that done.
I will.
And I will say this: now the paddles are a little bit weird. It's not a traditional bink, 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 bink. It's buttons on the top of the steering wheel that you push forward and pull back for upshift and downshift. And you can also use the stick for the same way, but it's forward for the upshift and back for the downshift, which is weird.
You know what shares that? The Golf R32.
Yeah.
It
It's
does.
weird like that.
Exact same system.
So,
actually.
like I said, I played around with it. I played around it in manual mode, bought the paddles a little bit, and then I stuck it in Sport Plus, and Sport Plus is rad. Completely changes the temperament of the car. Like, if you're in third gear and you turn on Sport Plus...
Isn't it like 20 seconds? Well, I know
No.
like the newer ones.
No. If you hit Sport Plus and you're in third gear, it stays in third gear. You'll run for an hour in third gear until you hammer it and bring it to red line and it shifts.
Yep.
But at any time, even if you're in automatic mode, you can flip the steering wheel and make it upshift or downshift.
And those PDK transmissions are so snappy.
They're smooth, they're snappy. I think this car, at least let's say the car weighed like 3,100 or maybe a little bit less. 255 horsepower, but the weight distribution of the car, low center of gravity of the car, and from 4,500 to 7,000 RPM, that thing is just an absolute animal.
That's probably what the gearing of it keeps it in that power band.
You know,
like I said, it's fast. It's and what kind of caught me out, because most of the time, like, I'm dealing with an automatic, so even though I do manually shift my automatic, I still have a torque converter, so it'll lock and unlock, and if it's unlocked, you've got a little RPM swing. And so, but this thing, like I said, when you're let off of the throttle in Sport Plus and it's holding a gear, it's just exactly like a manual car with a clutch. It absolutely engine brakes and everything. Took me a couple seconds to get used to that, like letting off to go into a corner. But, oh yeah. And the upshifts.
Are good.
The upshifts, they're not like you're going to snap an axle or you're going to snap a vertebrae or anything like that, but they're just whop, bop, bop. It just boom, boom,
That old
boom.
PDK transmission.
They're rad.
It clicks into gear.
So that was two things I wanted to. I'd been wanting to cross off my list for quite a while now. Was drive a Boxster. I wanted to drive one since they were first introduced, and wanted to drive a PDK, specifically a Porsche PDK. So I got to check two of those off in one deal.
Well, that's
and
good.
and in both instances, I have to say, they lived up to everything I thought they would be.
Yeah.
The car is that good. It's comfortable inside. It's a little tight, It's kind of like a Miata as far as interior space. Your arms are right against the door card and all that, and you're pretty close to your passenger, but not overly so. And balance was great, and it's the car that, going from just regular mode, it's the perfect little daily driver. That's a lot of fun. Put it in Sport Plus, and it becomes, Mr. Hyde.
That's why I had an affliction for a little while for the Audi RS6, because for a while there you could get them cheap, particularly the 06 to 2010 model, and I really wanted to get one of those too, and I had found one, but unfortunately I passed it up, another one of those. But those particular ones came with the same V10 the R8 did, which is a Lamborghini V10, and you can get them with a 6-speed manual. I was finding them for like 16 to 17 grand. Now they're non-existent.
Yeah, I can only imagine the maintenance and service costs on one of those, and the repair costs.
Just the parts alone are going to cost a fortune.
I was surprised too when I had called my insurance for that Porsche that my insurance would have been cheaper with the Porsche than my Speed 3. I was like, that's kind of strange. I would have thought it'd be the other way around, but
It was older.
Porsche drivers typically have a little more disposable income. They typically have a little bit better credit.
don't crash
But
them as
no,
often.
but it's
And they
also
don't crash them as often.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Mazda Speed 3s, however, get wrapped around telephone poles a lot.
And
Or they end up in
run off
ditches.
the bushes and rocks and things like that.
when it comes to tech number whatever, stay on the road.
Yeah, that's one, Dan.
Big tip: stay on the road.
That's such a sage piece of advice.
Yeah, Dan.
Don't engage in road rage.
Yeah. Now, another tech tip. We did Well, Brian did 7, and I did the last one because I was literally like biting my fingernails and all that stuff. I'd rather rebuild the rear end in the 86 again, or rebuild the oil cooler and all that. We did the spark plugs on the Cobra, and that was terrifying.
So Ford's 4.6 liter twin cam, the dual overhead cam mod motor, where the spark plug holes are, they're aluminum heads, obviously, and very small amounts of threads in the heads for those things. And
you
going
hear
way
nothing
back to the
but
beginning,
horror stories.
and way back to the beginning when I had my Lincoln Mark 8, which is essentially the same engine, just different intake, different cams, and cast pistons, really.
Yeah.
That was kind of the big thing. Changing spark plugs was, everybody's like, oh, I really don't want to do this because, horror stories of, and not just an isolated here or there. There was a lot of horror stories of,
It was one of those,
people pulling their plugs out and having the threads come with them.
It's like, it was one of those that instead of changing the spark plugs yourself, which are very accessible and all that, like the passenger side, all you had to do was take off the intake tube. Like, everything's right there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of those when everybody's like, take it to the dealer. Don't go anywhere else. Just take it to the dealer and pay the money because that's just...
They know the secrets.
And also, too, if they screw it up, they have
gotta
to
pay
fix
for
it.
it. Yeah.
But, so I did ones in my Lincoln Mark 8, so this is probably 15-ish years ago or a little bit longer.
So I've been,
my car
I've been
had
picking Brian's brain about
So my
this
car
for a
had
while.
I think it was 84,000 miles when I did mine. The car was roughly 10 years old. So 84,000 miles, 10 years old. So not a lot of miles, not really old when I did mine. And every single one of them felt sketchy as hell coming out. So now you have Mike's 97 Cobra, which is 2 years, 96, a year newer than what my car was, but we're doing it now.
Right.
And it's one of those, like, it's only got 120,000 miles on it, but it's one of those, I know the time that I've owned the car, and you're looking at, I've had this car since 2011, 2011, right after high school. So yeah, 2011, and I never
you got the Cobra about a year after I got my car.
Yeah, I never changed them, and one did get changed at the Ford dealership when I went in for an oil change, and as I was driving away, it fouled as I was pulling out of the service bay, and they're like, yeah, we'll change that for you. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no, it wasn't doing it when it came in, and you literally like haven't left the bay. Like it just,
right.
Luckily, it decided to go there and all that because it wasn't doing that idle. As soon as the clutch went out, it obviously was down the cylinder.
So that number 8 plug was the one that was changed.
That was the first one.
That was the one that I tackled first, and even it installed at a Ford dealership by was that Richie that did that?
No, Josh.
Okay, Josh.
I don't know if he's still there or not. But,
I believe he is.
But yeah, no, Josh did. Anytime that car went in there, Josh did work on that car.
Yeah,
Fru's cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
So that was the first one, and that one felt sketchy coming out, and the rest of them felt increasingly sketchy until I got to the number 3 cylinder, Bank 1 number 3 cylinder. You saw the pictures in the group chat. That thing looked gnarly coming out.
That was that was on the passenger side.
Yeah.
The first one that you did on the driver's side, that was the back
that was
one.
the
one that was replaced at Ford.
But they had all been replaced previously because that one was a
Platinums.
Motorcraft plug. The rest of them were Bosch Platinums. And gap wise, they were all still in spec, but they were looking they were munted.
Pretty crusty.
I was gonna
They
say,
were a bit
I
munted.
saved them all.
They were a bit munted, but number 3 was the one that just looked. So, I mean, that one there, I was taking, I took the plug and just threaded in a little ways and then threaded it back out and just junk on the threads. No aluminum. And did that about 3 times until it just went in clean and then pulled it out, cleaned it again, anti-seized it, popped it in, and gave it a little look.
Is there a mute button to where we can mute for the fire truck on by?
That's fine.
Well, sorry guys, we just give it a minute.
No, don't mute it.
I know, you're gonna yell not today, fuckers. You do it every time.
I know. Not today, fuckers!
You did it prematurely. Because this is your fire.
No,
people.
both of them. They're both on hand.
I'm surprised you don't yell at the helicopters every time they fly by.
Well, I never know. It's hard. Sometimes you got to listen close
Was
to
he
know
a
which
fugitive
helicopter
from
it is.
justice at one time too?
No,
There's
well, like I
something
said,
we
there's
don't know.
Well, there's the sheriff's helicopter and there's the
The life flights.
medical helicopter.
No,
As far as your previous question, no comment.
that reminds me though of when I.
Let this guy go by.
But anyway, like I said,
Drive a little bit faster. Get it over with. Come on.
so anyway, so I did do 7 of the plugs.
Oh, it must be something big because he's running the horn and everything.
That's technical rescue right there.
Yeah,
he's,
well, no,
he's
but-
coming right out of Malvern.
Yeah. If he's running the horn like that, something's going on.
Not today, buddy. No fire.
I was gonna say he's doing the double sirens too, so
So,
something's going on.
But I made him do the last one, which was bank 1, cylinder 1.
That was also the hardest one out of all 8 of them.
I didn't grab it.
That's
I
what
didn't
his
grab it
little
beforehand.
muscles say.
I didn't grab it beforehand, but I'm watching him do it, and I was like, "Damn!"
no,
I,
it was not that.
I think I gave him the hardest one
Because it was him and then my father-in-law standing there and all that, and like I saw how much pressure it took and all that, and I'm trying. He's like, make sure don't just crank on it. You gotta lean into it, and just,
also, like I said, use your other
feel
hand
it, and you
to
gotta
keep
brace and
to
all
keep
that.
the extensions kind of centered in the hole in the well.
Because you don't want it.
Don't crack it over one way or the other and break the insulator
Because it goes down about.
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah,
it goes down
it's
a lot.
deep. And he was sitting here, so
I'm trying.
He gets
I'm
on
like,
it,
all right,
and
I'm like,
he starts going, and then you see him go, and then he leans down on it and he starts going, and I was like, damn, I think I just gave him the hardest one there.
and because now I'm also at this point going, don't do too much pressure because you
don't
don't
wanna
want
break
to.
shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I stopped for a second and I'm like, all right. And it got to a point I was all weight.
Like,
all,
bear down, buddy,
Yeah,
bear
no,
down.
I was
was-
all weight, all in.
He was, yeah,
and
he was
and
on
then
it.
it finally went. And I looked at Brian and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
like, nope.
I don't want to do
Keep
this
going.
anymore.
And he,
It came out, but no, like seriously,
And
it wasn't that
but
I was
the strangest
weak
thing
not
was
being able to pull it out.
that had the cleanest
Yeah.
threads of every one of them.
Yep.
But it was one of those like it wasn't that oh I'm weak. I seriously like you
Yeah,
saw
I
was
really
I
did.
was
You're gonna have to
Oh,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I got a video of it. Well, no, because I'm still embarrassed about it because I'm like sitting there for 2 minutes like ah!
But so, like I said, but that was and I asked him afterwards. I'm like, all right, because like I said, I've done these before, so I kind of knew what to expect. I knew it would be a little bit worse on his car just because of the age
Yeah.
and everything else. So I'm like, so I asked him. I know what I'm feeling in my hands when it's going on, so I knew what to expect. So I asked him. I'm like, all right, now just calm down. What did you actually feel in your hands as you were doing that? And he had a one-word answer: fear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fear. It
I like
is the whole time fear. Like
Yeah.
it was.
So that's actually the tech tip, by the way. We haven't talked about this on here. You talked about it on the videos. So when they did those spark plugs, they did not use a ratchet. They used
well, we could have just used an updated ratchet.
They
according to
used
TikTok.
a breaker bar,
A 3/8
3/8
drive
drive breaker bar.
the same
Now,
size
the
as
reason
a
they
normal
would
ratchet,
do that
like, not big.
is because when they remove the play out of the gears of a ratchet by using a breaker bar that's solid, you get a better feel for what's happening
Oh yeah, you could
as you
feel
start to
every.
twist on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You could feel every single.
I mean,
like
the thing
ring
is,
of it going.
if it's gonna wring the threads out of it,
It's gonna wring the threads
out of it.
but you can at least.
You have a better warning with the break.
You can at least
Yeah.
stop and be like, hold on, something doesn't feel
Yeah.
right.
Well, and that's
And
what
prepare
yeah.
yourself.
that's what I was going to bring up. That 300ZX I had, that thing was sitting for almost 10 years, and it hadn't ran or anything. And I remember my grandfather was good with tractors that were sitting for a long time, so I was asking him, and he told me, he said, don't use a ratchet. He said, use a breaker bar. He told me to put certain fluids in certain places, but he said, like, the main thing with the spark plugs is to not use a ratchet, to use a breaker bar, because you have to feel it, because if it feels like it's going to do something bad, you need to stop, pour some fluid down there, and then let it sit and
not
everything.
even with
and
the threads, but also
you don't want the
I've seen it-
porcelain to shatter and
you
fall in the
can-
engine.
And when you're doing spark plugs and all that, and like with the porcelain will give you a warning before it cracks or breaks.
Right.
And now
Well,
it's
you'll
like,
you'll
it's- and
you'll,
I
you'll
know- I
feel
know
that
this-
you'll feel that crack before you feel threads rip apart.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's one of those. I know that from work with
I did.
with toilet seats and all that. Like, trust me, with them 100 fucking toilets that I have at work, it's one of those. You get to that certain point, and all of a sudden you'll feel, And you're like, nope, back off, because if I barely even go anymore, the entire toilet's blowing up.
No, that's
Yeah.
what we had it happen with like 2 or 3 of the cylinders on that car, and I stopped, took it out, got a shot back, and just stuck it over the valve cover right there, and just like was waiting for it all to come out. Because that, like I said, that car sat for almost like 10 years
So you gotta think
before
the
I got it
Cobra,
running and everything.
Last
and
time it, like, besides us getting it running,
5
4
years.
Yeah,
4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
So I mean, it was basically the same way.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though
On
it
the
was-
plus side, most of those years were spent in a garage.
yeah, but
so-
even with that, even with Florida, you have
Just so much
heat and-
humidity.
heat and go,
Yeah.
and go, and just all that, and no. Yeah, no, that was scary.
So yeah, so some fresh
Seriously.
Autolite plugs with some fresh copper-based anti-seize going on there. They, like I said, the number 3 one, that was the one that came out, the gnarliest looking one that came out. But I took my time cleaning
There
the
was
threads out of
no-
that plug.
no metal,
No aluminum in
it.
it.
Was just
Lots of carbon, lots of other crap in there, but there was no aluminum
you
in the
gotta see
threads.
some of these things.
And,
They are. Oh god.
But
they're
yeah,
bad.
like I said, so we did a TikTok on that one, and one of the comments was, "Or you could just buy a better ratchet."
Yeah,
Oh,
buy an
okay,
updated ratchet. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not spending $100 and something on a 95 tooth snap-on ratchet or what. Well, I'm just throwing out there.
Bro, those are $230 a piece.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
was.
wait,
You know-
did you see the Mako guy's new tool truck?
Yeah,
Not the
because,
Mako guy, the USA Tool guy.
Is it a USA tool? Ryan.
It's quite nice.
oh, you got a
You
new
know,
one?
so
Yeah,
yeah, but that was the
brand
thing. One
new
of them
one.
was buy an
USA
updated
tools.
ratchet,
Oh, I think
and the
Mako.
other one
Mako's
was if
that
it's going to
weird
break, it's
guy.
going to break. Well, no shit. If it's going to break, it's going to break.
Yeah.
As far as the ratchet goes, most of the tools in my toolbox are Craftsman tools that my dad had when I was a kid,
Right.
or Craftsman tools, or some. I do have some Snap-on stuff, but none of it was bought new.
Craftsman's
Yeah, no,
Snap-on.
my Craftsman stuff's from 2004.
Yeah, like
2003. It's older Craftsman. Still
like now
when
we
it
do
was
have
just-
some newer when Craftsman was still sold at Sears.
Yeah,
we do
that's-
have that.
that's what my whole
But
kit
like
was.
most of my Craftsman tools are stuff that I got from my dad, or stuff that I bought new when they were still USA made at Sears, or stuff that I got from my dad, which was old school made in USA Sears.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not replacing those ratchets.
Right.
Right.
I mean, if you handed me a brand new Snap-on ratchet, I might use it once or twice, but most of the time I'm still going to grab the old Craftsman stuff because it's old school and it was my dad's. So you just can't beat that stuff.
Yeah,
right.
So like I said, I'm not a professional anyway. I'm just a one-legged idiot that plays with cars from time to time.
But there were a lot of people that did end up saying, yeah, I know.
Like-
it was split. It was one of
Oh,
those
you're
where
still.
you
I'm
had
sorry.
you
Well,
had people
I'm chatty.
saying, oh,
Dropping
buy,
knowledge
buy
and-
new ratchets. You won't have to deal with that. Just buy new stuff. And then it was, oh, hey, thanks for that tip. Never thought of that.
And like I said, that was just something. That was just something I picked up from reading all like the Lincoln forums and the Cobra forums and all the cars that use that engine, and reading all those horror stories. And when I had to do mine, I was like, I think I want the least amount of slack in the tool as I can possibly
Right.
get. And what I have is my ancient ass, probably 40-year-old Craftsman breaker bar.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it neither.
No.
Exactly.
Nope.
No.
That bitch works.
So,
That
here,
bitch
I'll
puts
go
in.
You know
work.
what sucks is you can't buy that tool
No.
anymore.
I know.
No.
I don't recall last time I've seen one of those, like a
A
3/8 drive.
3/8 drive
And-
breaker
and-
bar, it's
and
hard to
it's-
find.
It's
Yeah.
not like
It's not long.
when,
it's
people think when he said breaker bar, I thought of like
Big
my-
giant
my
long.
breaker bar. And he showed me it. And I'm like, it's literally the
It's
same
the
size
as a ratchet.
as a
So-
regular 3/8 ratchet.
There's a reason why the tool breaker bar exists, and it's not what people think. People think breaker bar is what you use when you
break
got
stuff
something
loose.
like super stuck and you need 9 miles of bar to break it loose so that
No.
it won't break the teeth in the ratchet.
That's what the jack handle's for.
Yeah.
So
Oh, trust me, I do that all the time.
breaker bar is for fine work, like breaking loose a spark plug that you know is going to be stiff. That's what it's for.
Or a wheel nut that's been over tight, or an axle nut.
bolt
Or
Take-
any of
But
those
when you're
things.
doing something that you need to be able to feel it when you break it loose,
You're not
that's
You
what the
wanna put
breaker
7
bar is
Ugga-Duggas
for.
on it.
Yeah, too many Ugga-Duggas.
I mean,
So many. Ugga-Duggas.
so anybody that's like, oh, just buy another ratchet, obviously never did an 05 to 07 Mustang spark plug.
90. Actually, that cylinder head would be
Oh, those.
93 to
The 3-valve
2000
cylinder head.
2011.
Yeah, the
No,
3-valve.
no, I'm talking about the 4-valve.
No, I'm talking about the 3-valve.
No,
Oh,
the-
3 valves are an entirely different animal.
Yes.
The spark plugs just shatter and fall into the engine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, they don't fall in; they just break off.
Yeah, so there's actually two schools of thought that I've heard about on these. So one of our friends who used to be the parts manager at Nick at the Ford dealership up here, his thing was what his old school, mechanic that worked there, not a tech, a mechanic.
Right.
What he would do is bring the car in with the engine warm, and he would take the Ford aerosol degreaser, pull all the plug leads out, spray it in the holes, go to lunch.
Yep.
Come back, spray it again, go work on another car. Let that stuff just sit there and dwell for a couple hours. And then he would go in there with a breaker bar and crack them loose. And then I've also talked with another guy, and his method was
Impact.
Squirt a little shit in there, let it sit 5 minutes, and throw the big boy on it.
Yep.
And just boom.
That's what I did with the Expedition, and it worked perfect.
And both methods apparently work perfectly.
Had about a 95% success rate.
On both methods, whichever one you do.
The big thing I saw on the forums where people were saying were to use an electric impact, squirt some PB Blaster down, and just wait 5 minutes and just quick zip, and then finish it with the ratchet. And that's what I did. And my Expedition, they all came out perfect.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a
3-valve.
Oh yeah.
3 valves.
3 valve
All the
engines.
3 valves.
Well, hey, you just made me think about that as I was coming out the door. When we were doing taking the plug out of the crossover pipe on the Cobra.
Oh,
to burp
dude,
it.
that was
So
bad.
the top of with the Cobras, it's not just straight. Like your thermostat isn't right on the block, and no. It's not right there. The thermostat is actually on the hose at the very bottom of the car.
And because of the intake manifold on that car, they set the motor way down. But the coolant pipes,
And it's a double tube that comes up, and it's
over
actually the same
higher
height
than
as the very top
of the
intake.
engine. Yep.
Well, yeah, that's
And-
the highest point in the cooling system.
There is a
bleed.
Yeah, but it's like about that big.
yeah,
it's a
Allen-
quarter. No, it's a quarter.
Oh,
inch.
rad like a
Yeah, and
square.
you're supposed to just put your
And there's
quarter,
the first beer burp of
supposed to just
2023.
put your quarter inch in there and be able to boop, pop it out, and that's where you're able to fill it, bleed it, all that.
Mike's,
Damn,
no.
Chris, you did the mic pour again.
But I got the whole
Hi.
thing in there this time.
Well,
Anyway, Mike's not that easy.
Yeah,
No,
no,
we
'cause
tried.
that one was that, and we almost broke.
oh, that thing was probably all kinds of just rust,
Rust,
corrosion, and
Oh no! When I came over, I'm like, no, maybe we just need to get more leverage on it.
Hold
Or
on.
it's an automatic.
it's still. Is that Nick?
I don't know. It did almost.
Was that
sound-
VR6
Whatever that
noises?
was, that sounded nasty.
That
though.
did sound like R32.
Well, that certainly wasn't one.
No,
What time is it?
Nick didn't work this
What?
afternoon.
Oh, okay.
It's
'Cause I went
8:51.
there.
I think we're going a little long, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we,
fine
we
with
are,
that.
and that's
But,
fine. But
But what
anyway,
we ended up doing, we ended up spraying fucking half a can of
PB
PB Blaster
Blaster.
just for 2
no,
hours.
yeah, we just chilled,
sitting on
kind of
it.
just waited.
And that did absolutely nothing, and it was to the point to where we were almost breaking
The crossover tube.
No,
The
no,
the
we were almost
ratchet.
breaking the ratchet. The actual chuck
gears?
of it was starting to
Twist?
Yeah.
But then we gave her some sweet heat, baby.
So we were thinking about it, and we're like, okay.
Can't be tied if it's liquid.
Well, that's what we were thinking. We're like, okay, well, heat, and I'm like, I don't have a torch. He didn't have a torch, so we're just trying to think. I'm like, I can get the hairdryer, but
Oh,
the hairdryer's
I'm
not.
sorry, I just
not-
did that.
Not hot enough,
It
and
is
that.
what it is.
So he called up your father-in-law, right?
Yep.
And he has a
Show him the can too.
a crazy heat gun.
And he lives
And lives right down the road. So he went and got it, and we got the heat gun, put it on its highest set, and it's like a digital one and all.
Oh, it goes up
I
like
know my
600 degrees.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
so literally turned it on, set it to the highest setting,
And it left it
Sit
the
it
engine
on
bay.
put it on there. Me and him just sat down and had like 3 beers and that. And so it was like 20 minutes and that. We shut it off. Went over there.
You just
It-
dude,
it- it
literally
fucking- it-
tick
like,
right
yeah,
off.
just-
Like,
That's
after
hazy,
before that
though.
we
Look at
had
that.
whoa, dude,
we
it's
had to break not only the brake
That's
bar,
pretty
we had the
looking. It's
jack
like red.
handle on it.
Wait,
everything.
hold on.
Could not get it up. Finally got the heat and just came straight out. And we're like,
oh, there's floaters.
Okay, so last time a couple weeks ago, I was up in Gainesville, and I decided to I was going to stop at First Magnitude as well, but they didn't open until I would have been facing afternoon rush hour traffic leaving Gainesville. I was like, I didn't want to do that, so I'd only stop at Swamp Head.
Armadillos.
Armadillo
I picked up
holes.
Armadillo holes.
Hell yeah, brother.
American brown ale and 7% alcohol.
Hell yeah, brother.
Apparently Floridian.
Chris, you spending the night?
Sorry
Yeah.
that I took a sip. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I also
But-
just wanted to make sure, Chris, you spending the night.
Oh
right?
no, boys, just get ready. I'll wait because I accidentally went right in. I was so excited. Go ahead. Yep.
Armadillos keep digging
Wow.
little holes in my backyard.
That's a bit different for a brown.
That's
That's like a brown / red.
It's crisp
Right?
and it's smooth.
Do you get what I'm saying? Then?
Yeah.
It's
That's
yeah.
like a brown,
It's got a caramel to it.
but with
This,
like
but it's
that.
crisp and it's smooth, not overly carbonated.
Oh, that is good. It smells.
That's a
amazing.
winner right there, boys.
Yeah, it is a winner right there.
That's
It smells
fantastic.
amazing.
So
ABC.
I'm actually
No, you
no,
got it
I,
at Swamp Head.
I bought this at Swamp
at
Head,
it's
Swamp
got
Head?
some dryness to it,
but it's not.
but it's crisp. It's
But it's-
refreshing.
Yeah, but it's not like pull all the moisture out of your
No.
palate dry.
Right.
I mean, there are.
Did
hops
they
there.
throw some IPA elements in there?
I think so. I really do.
They did too.
But it's the IPA elements that I actually like.
Yeah, like it's hoppy. It's
But
got a
not,
good hoppiness
but
to
not
it.
not insane hoppy.
But
Right.
it's malty
Not
as
like
hell.
not like that. Not like some of the garbage that Dan has
No,
brought us
but
before.
it is malty as anything.
Yes.
There's so much malt there.
Like
That
it's
is
got a
so
nice
good.
roasted malt caramely flavor
Ooh.
to it in the beginning, and it finishes off like a strong floral hops.
This would be
That's
another one I
delicious.
would love to have a beer caramelizer and try it with. it.
Right.
Before we go any further,
I'm
can
kinda
I do my
thinking-
car spot? Sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
kind of thinking
yeah,
of the pairing on this one.
I don't even know.
Pizza.
Pizza would be a good one.
Or just a pasta dish, actually, in general.
Hold on.
Like with a marinade, like a red sauce, some kind of red sauce dish.
A pasta would like a pasta or like a chicken parmesan or something like that.
Chicken parm, that's what I was thinking.
A chicken parm would go really good with
I was
that.
actually kind of thinking like a beef ravioli with red sauce,
Yes.
or beef
That would
ravioli in a beef bolognese sauce
Mm-hmm.
would pair well with this.
Or even a clam sauce would be good too.
Ooh.
You know, like a not an overpowering clam sauce, but a nice clam sauce would be really
Something
good.
garlicky.
Yes, yeah, garlic.
Something
would
heavy
go,
on garlic would go really good with
Fuck,
this.
just the garlic knots.
Dude, this little place right up the street, their garlic knots,
or
they're
something.
they're garlicky as hell to begin with, and then just to top them
When they're
off, they
spicy,
shave
that shit on the-
garlic on
Oh,
top
fresh
of
I
one.
love their garlic.
What the hell is it?
Taste of Italy.
yeah,
Taste of Italy.
Now you're all making me hungry.
Oh no! Hey, this place. When you bite into the garlic knot and you're like, "This is spicy."
Why is this so
Why is
spicy?
it so spicy?
Oh no! You eat a couple. You
It's
eat two or three.
straight
You
garlic.
eat 2 or 3 of these things the night before. The next day, you're sweating garlic out. Vampires will leave you the hell alone.
But it's one of those.
So it's got the correct amount of garlic. Is what you're saying.
but it's not.
Overkill is just about right.
It's not like.
What's our chat doing?
It's not crappy garlic. It's fresh garlic.
Old school says shrimp scampi would go good with it.
Oh.
yeah.
Yes. Mike, you're
Oh,
right.
Ooh, a sautéed scallop dish.
Mike, when are you
yeah.
gonna come on the show?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Yeah,
We
we
need
need
to
to
get
have
Mike
you
on.
on.
Hey,
We need to go.
next
We need to go
episode.
over and check out his shop and his goodies too.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
He's been doing the floor like crazy on the gasser, and I've been watching it. He just got a couple. I think both floor pans in, and then he was shit. What's that rust prohibitor that you put down?
PR 51.
415.
Yeah, pour.
So
Well,
yeah, paint
um,
over rust.
Should we do bring a trailer now?
No, not yet. Let's keep rolling.
All right. Well,
We're getting a little
I had a
late.
car spot. I did. I had a car spot on Christmas.
Okay,
Do tell.
you broken?
2018 plus red 911 GT3 RS Wysock
Oh,
Nice,
and Inverness.
nice.
Well, speaking of Inverness, sorry, just really quick. When the Ring doorbell app, when the neighborhood thing, everybody's like, "Why is there so many sirens happening in Inverness now?" Like I told you, something was going down.
There's
And
pretty
it's
big-
not Brian. He's not on fire. He's
Wasn't
here.
me. I'm here.
I mean, I can light him on fire, but
Don't make me kill you.
Mike says he got the driver's side done, getting ready to start passenger side this weekend.
Right on.
I will say this though, because we've all watched drag racing videos. We've watched 1320 videos. We've watched, even as kids, I'm sure we all watched like NHL races on TV, like the Nationals and Gator Nationals.
Oh yeah.
And we watch all this stuff, and we see what Cletus does with all of his cars, and we see all of the drag racing stuff that's going on. So it's to the point now where you see cars that just rip down some amazing times and just look like the passes almost seem uneventful because we see it so often. They've got these cars so dialed that they just go A to B and they post up an incredible number, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, it's nothing bad on them.
And it's not a bad thing.
Like,
Okay, and it's not a bad thing. I have, when I watch that, I always sit there. I'm like, it looks so calm. It's not calm. That in the car they're doing work.
Oh yeah.
But they go down so straight now, and they go so fast now because of the technology that's going on. Traction control, and for nitrous cars, you can progressive nitrous controllers and progressive boost controllers, and all of these things that manage traction and they manage weight, and they just the collective amount of knowledge of what it takes to make a car hook and go fast.
Yeah.
It's just grown over the years, and now you're seeing all of the culmination of all of that knowledge, all of the technology, and everything that's going on. You kind of get jaded by it.
Yeah.
You're not, like I said, when you sit about and think of just the absolute physics of taking, a 3,300-pound car and chucking it down a racetrack in 5.5 seconds, god damn, that's incredible.
Right.
Okay? Even top fuel cars. But I'm just talking about more, something more attainable than that. If you ever go on YouTube and just look up, like, current day, like, gasser class racing, these cars are bare bones basic. They got some electronics for the engine, but usually no traction control.
They might do 12 seconds. They might do 11 seconds.
They might.
faster.
Finnegan went 8.
Oh, yeah,
Finnegan went 8:51 in one drag week with Blasphemy,
But
which is
it's
a
one of
gasser style
those-
car.
It is more.
But most of those cars are H-pattern manuals. They're old school, and you see those things, $7,000 on the starting light. Dump the clutch. They pop up, and they're all over the place. And those guys are just flat out gear jamming. Bah, bah,
half the time all in a wheelie still.
And you do this, and they may not, gassers like he's building, may not be the fastest thing out there. They may not be the most technologically advanced thing out there.
But goddamn, they're the coolest thing ever.
But by far, when you just go and watch stuff like that, they are the most
fun to
entertaining.
watch.
Yeah.
They're the most fun to watch. Those are the cars that put on a show. They go fast. They sound rad. They may look a little weird because people didn't understand where they came from and how they developed. But
They also have
there's
the coolest
no
paint jobs.
denying that when you watch a couple of gassers, both manual cars, just ripping down the track, both of them shifting and not making a super clean A to B pass, that is a show, and you can only sit back and go.
Like that old video of the Fox body that shifted into second on the back wheels.
Yeah,
On the
against-
street.
yeah.
On the street.
On the
Unprepped
street.
against that Porsche that had
Yes.
a car hit on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they negotiated.
But watching him lift the front end, he's looking at nothing but
the sky.
He's looking at street lights.
signs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's not like he's just.
He's one-handed because he's still shifting.
And he's
like,
one-handed.
That
First to second, he
Cruising.
gave there.
the
Cruising.
negotiation on that race was one length and the hit. So the Porsche cracked the tire, he cracked the tire, damn near put the bumper on the ground, and while the bumper was still that far from the ground,
past the Porsche.
grabs second and goes past the Porsche, sets it down, and just zoosh.
Yep.
The part about that video that always cracks me up every time I
Is the
see
guy
it
filming?
was the guy at the finish line filming. Tell me that motherfucker don't move!
Tell me that motherfucker don't move.
That's just the greatest thing ever. And like I said, that video is what, 9-10 years old? It's like
older than
2000
that. I think
It's
that's
like from 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
And I don't care. That is still probably one of the coolest,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
real street drag race videos ever.
Oh yeah.
And
I saw a good one on TikTok today. New Camaro versus their Mustang.
You saw it?
Yeah. So Camaro hard launches, boils the tires, right?
Look at me in my
Boils
fucking new
into
SS.
second, right? Just tire smoke
I'm
coming
doing
out the
30 miles
back,
per hour. Yeah.
right? Lets out of it to try and grab the car. feels like he got the car settled down, but he really didn't. And
Hammers
he matted it again, spun it off the road into the trees and totaled it.
Oof.
Brand new Camaro.
Oof.
And it sounded rowdy. It sounded like it had some stuff done. It
did.
sounded like it was supercharged.
That shit was hilarious, though. That was one of those, you bought your power and you don't know how to handle it.
Yes. That's literally what that was. Because the Mustang, you saw the Mustang launch, see what he was doing, and get out of it and step on the brakes.
Dude,
and
the
go,
Camaro's like,
no, you know what?
I'm winning.
No, you got this, bro. No, you don't got this. Because the Mustang watched this Camaro go, rah, rah, boom.
Because at that point in his head was, all right, he probably has like $1,000 buy-in. He's like, I'm gonna lose my $1,000.
I'm not
I'm
gonna lose my
okay
car.
with that.
I'm not going to lose my car.
Actually,
Yeah.
And then you see,
if you
wait,
if you,
I
if
just
you-
got my $1,000 back.
Actually, if he continued on to the finish line, he got his $1,000 and he keeps his car.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
So so the whole like little tech tip thing. So, what was the repair that you did that was sort of outside of what the book said? That saved, like the one that just surprised you the most at the amount of time you possibly saved doing it. Sort of like like a hack. Like the book said to do this, but you found the alternate way that cut the time in half or more.
changing the blend
Like-
door actuator in my sister's Chevrolet Avalanche. Because the book said to remove the entire dash to get to it, but I found with my me arms that if I went behind the radio and did this maneuver right here, I could get to it and break off a tab off one of the screws and not have to screw that back in and plug it in, and it works. And it took me 2 hours instead of the booked 6.5.
See, I'll let Chris go, but I'm just
No,
saying,
you go first.
I got 2 of them, but it's opposite, though. It's not what saved me time. What
Cost you time?
Yeah. The first one was with the Cobra, me and Tom, because I went over to Tom's house to do it, and Tom was helping me with it. It was like a year after I got it and all that. Where we were doing the motor mounts in it. And so, actually, just the one motor mount, because one motor mount broke. And should be just, slowly jack up the motor. There you go. Yeah, with long tube headers, don't ever, they sound great. Oh, they sound fucking great. But don't fucking do them. Especially on the 4-valve cars, don't fucking do them. So we had to take the header off because you couldn't get to the other side of the bolt and the motor mount.
Does one of those pipe things?
No. It's one of those, you could undo the header, but you couldn't move it. Because in order to do the long tube headers on those cars, the motor has to be out. It's a drop out thing, which is also, my car has a tubular K-member too. So all that stuff was done while motor was out. And just popped in. It's amazing when the motor's out because it's fucking right there.
In the car, however.
Yeah, in the car. You can't pull it
Because
up.
people don't
you can't
understand
pull
about
it out. It is literally just fuck.
Because SN95s are basically Fox bodies. That's
Yes.
all they are.
Yeah.
And to fit that engine in the car, they got rid of the vacuum booster and went to Hydro Boost because it's smaller. And they moved the engine over to the passenger side 3 inches.
And that's what people don't realize is that my brakes are run off my power steering pump.
Yep.
People don't realize that. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not fun. Doing that was, as Tom said, did it before in one of his, when he had his Terminator and all that. It was like 2 hours we can have everything done. And this is Tom. Tom knows his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that. Been doing this for years. He knows his
Tom
stuff.
restored a street race car known as Sudden Death. Go look that one up.
Oh, I got pictures of me. Anyway, we get under the car. He goes to do this stuff. He's like, this ain't working. Yeah, that was a 10-hour job, and the driver's side header has half of a gasket on it, and the other half is a gasket maker. Because we could not get any other gasket for it, and it was gonna. Well, this was also in 2011. Even trying to look it up and trying to get stuff shipped, it was gonna be a month and a half before I could get the specific gasket for it. So yeah, that was that, and that is the only time I've ever heard Tom curse. And that's when I knew when he said
That's when it meant business.
when he handed me the keys to the 86 SSP and said, go to the fucking well, at this time it was
Gulf Coast Ford.
It was Gulf Coast Ford. He's like, go to the fucking Gulf Coast Ford and talk to the guy and get this. I'm like, okay, I'm going. I'm like, you sure? He's like, fucking go. I'm like, okay, I'm going. I was scared because I'm like, this man has never even said damn before, and he just said shit and fuck. I'm screwed. Yeah. So that sucks. And then also the carrier pin bolt on the 86.
Oh.
The 3-month extravaganza. So, as that's just supposed to be taken out with just a 8mm wrench. Well, when it snaps and all that, and it's one of those, do you mess up the $400 case?
The carrier.
The actual carrier itself, which is $400 just for the carrier itself. Or do I mess up the $30 pin?
Pin's got to go.
You fuck up the pin. And that last part, after the amount of drilling and all that stuff that I ended up doing, when I just went to Lowe's, I spent $45 on a diamond-headed little... It was actually for engraving with a Dremel. And I sat there with the Dremel with this diamond-headed engraver that was pointed, and just after I drilled and I couldn't get anywhere else, and I just went, and that was 3 days of me just doing that until I got angry and then stopped because I wasn't gonna fuck anything else up, and then finally it caught it and it shot the rest of the bolt out.
Yeeted it
Literally
right out.
went past the tire, hit the Cobra, bounced off, landed next to Sabrina's foot.
And you were like, yay!
And she's like, and I was literally on the ground underneath the car crying. She's like, was that not supposed to happen? I'm like, yes,
it was.
It was.
It
So
was supposed to happen.
basically, so basically, Mike's hack is fuck up the least expensive part.
And that
Right.
was the thing. If something
if you're in that
something
position
catastrophic happens,
and you have the
you
option,
have to look at it on,
Yep.
okay, if I have to do something extreme like this, what part am I willing to replace? Am I willing to spend $400? Because I could have just took the cutting wheel and gotten to it a lot quicker, but that's $400 for the entire piece.
Right.
Or am I doing, which I already ordered, this $30 part that's going to take me a little bit longer because it's hardened steel and all that, but it cost me a lot less.
Right.
I'm putting more time into it than money. So do I put more money in less time, or more time and more money? Tech tip, always go for the least expensive part.
So
Always do that.
my tactic's very specific.
So is mine, actually. So it's a
Well,
very
mine
specific
was
car.
too, also.
Mine was a very specific car.
Kia Beta 2 2-liter engine timing belt replacements. Do not follow the book and remove the tensioner pulley. Leave that on.
I know where you're going.
Crack the bolt loose, take all the tension off of it. Then go down to the idler pulley at the bottom, unbolt the idler pulley, take belt off, put new belt on, get all your slack on the idler pulley side. Contrary to the book. And then the bolt, which is, I swear to God, 2 engineers decided not to talk to each other.
North Star
Because
engine?
the book says take the tensioner pulley off. Don't do that. Because if you take that idler pulley off, it is a 14mm, it's this long, and the hole that it goes into
Does it
is
back onto something?
half an inch of no threads. So you can wedge it in there, push against it with your 14mm ratchet, and start turning it, and it won't cross thread. So you can get it lined up and put tension against the belt and start turning it. It won't cross thread. The tensioner pulley, however, is this insane hooked onto a slot situation that will fight you for 45 minutes, whereas the idler pulley will go on in an instant. So it takes that timing belt job and it cuts about 45 minutes right off the end of it.
So my hack was one of the cars I had in high school. I had a '74 Mustang II with a 2.8 clone V6.
Almost
Starter.
the same motor as your car.
Yeah, but that's literally the basis of what's in my car now. So starter shit the bed. I change the starter. So I put it up on jack stands and crawled in to look underneath, and you can see there's oil pan and engine and bell housing and cross member and front suspension, the IFS that the Mustang 2s had and all that. You look up there's the starter. Okay, the top bolt might be a little bit difficult to get to, but there's the bottom bolt. It looks like this thing's going to just pop right out.
Nope.
It does not just pop right out. So to get to the top bolt, I ended up linking that much of extensions together and went in over the steering rack. Got the top bolt out, got the bottom bolt out, grabbed the starter, ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. God damn it!
How does this come out?
So then I resorted to, the weapon of last resort, the Chilton's manual.
That's always my first thing now.
Step 1, loosen motor mount. Step 2, lift engine 5 inches. I'm like,
Fuck!
I'm not doing that. There's got to be a different way. So if you ever have to change the starter on a Mustang 2, two big bolts that hold the steering rack to the cross member,
Drop those.
undo those. Pull the steering rack forward, drop it down, reach in,
Starter
extract
right
the
out.
starter.
Nice.
Yep.
Good to know.
Pop it back in, put the bottom bolt in, and then you just, like I said, you just old school, you just wrap a little masking tape around the top of the bolt, put it in your socket, go in over the top, go in here, guide it in, good to go.
I've actually got another one. Ford one this time. Ford Rangers.
Nice
Any
Ford
of
Ranger.
the Ford Rangers with a manual transmission.
Tactic number 1, put a Hurst shifter on the T5, because even in a Ranger, you will smoke your synchros if you don't.
So, the book, all the service manuals will tell you, if you have to bleed the clutch, remove the or the master cylinder for the clutch,
Oh, you're talking about the newer ones that have
and tip it up even so that the air bubble will move from the top of the master cylinder over to the where the hole is, where it goes down into the hose. Okay, that's the manual's way of doing it. I found a better way, because what it is the master cylinder
It sits at
actually
an angle.
sits at an angle. So the top of the master cylinder is here, and the hose comes out here, and a bubble will get trapped up here, and you can't bleed it. So what I figured out was, I was looking at it, I'm like, nah, never mind, hold on. Hand me some snap ring pliers. Snap ring
Pull the
pliers.
piston out of it.
Pulled the piston out till I saw brake fluid, jammed it back in, put the snap ring back in, and we were done.
Nice.
It's almost like bench bleeding it type deal.
Literally, like that's because they say you have to bench bleed it before you put it on the truck. And I didn't bench bleed it, and I'm like, I'm not taking that all back off. Fuck that. That sounds awful, because it was an hour and a half of fighting that thing back in there.
Yeah.
So I went, snap ring, pop, pulled, and I left it all connected to the clutch pedal. I just pulled the clutch pedal all the way out until the piston popped out, and then jammed it back in whenever it was done. We're good.
Yep.
All done.
So before we move on to bring a trailer, there is one giant elephant in the room.
And I'm gonna save that beer for that.
Yeah, I've got a thought on that.
So we did lose. Before we say anything, how is the chat going? Cause
Chat's going good.
I
Mike
think
says,
Mike's been
check out
sick.
Southeast Gassers. I have rules that I have to follow to build my car. So he's building a gasser to a set
Gasser
of
class, yeah.
set of specific rules for gasser class.
Which seriously, Mike, I am super excited to be able to see.
We
that
have to go to his shop and go check that out.
No, for real.
He's right over here, and hell, he works at the Napa right there in Homosassa.
We have to go check
the
his
old
stuff out.
I think
Yeah,
that's the one that he's at.
because gassers are rad.
Yeah,
Right. I love gassers.
Yeah, and also he's got chicken stew, so we'll.
So
Yeah, so we lost a legend. 2023 year to deal has not been fully good to start off with. We lost Ken Block, which surprised the hell out of me.
I was
surprised that hell out.
when
That
you,
got
when you
everybody.
sent, Dan sent it, and we were in the middle of making dinner, and Dan sent on the thing.
And my first response was, "Wait, what?"
And I was doing some. I think I was mixing something in the kitchen, and Sabrina's like, "Dan just said that Ken Block died." I'm like, "No, he didn't." She's like, "Dan just said Ken Block died," and I'm like, I'm scrolling through social media at that point. I'm like, I'm not.
No, that was like
he
right
didn't.
when it happened.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I kind of thought he didn't at first too, and then I did like super quick deep diving and found out that it was true.
And then Hoonigan's confirmed, and it was like, oh,
I was laying in bed, and I'm sitting there, and I'm laying next to Shelby, and I saw that, and I Googled it, and saw the tweet, and I was like, I literally dropped my phone. I'm like, oh my god. And she was like, what? I said, Ken Block died. No way.
So that is a huge, huge hit to many communities because it's one of those.
he started out as a skater.
That's how
Found
I
DC
ended
shoes.
up knowing him. Like how my start of knowing him was with his
DC
skating, and then
shoes.
also with the
Me too.
BMXing and that. And he, started DC Shoes, and then also with Rob Deerdeck and all that stuff, and that whole thing.
And
And
then
then all of a
branded
sudden,
Hoonigan.
yeah,
Founded,
just-
he went rally racing first, and then founded Hoonigan.
And then I still remember the very first Gymkhana that you have Rob in the
Oh,
fucking
so great.
in the little go kart
Good thing.
of his the hatchback Subaru.
Yeah.
And he's going around, and I still remember that, and it was like just what the hell is this? Like this is like a skateboard video
created a
for
whole new genre of car video.
But it was one of those, he took his skateboarding roots and was like, hey, I'm doing
rallies.
Well, I'm doing rally and all that stuff, but I'm going to make
A skate video.
Yeah.
Right.
With
Well,
rallies.
with
And
cars.
that-
But,
and
you know,
that's
with
what
production,
Well,
but
what-
with production quality.
The coolest thing about it is there was like you like he looked at doing all this and how to incorporate doing these kind of
Now I need my jacket again.
like fluctual dancing moves with cars.
Grinding with cars,
and then-
doing jumps, doing
yeah.
kick flips, doing
And-
spins in the middle of the air.
And then
like,
he found this thing called Jim Cantor, which is a competition that this guy Jim Cantor came up
Yeah.
with. And it's horse riding.
Yeah.
And it's called dressage horse riding,
Yeah.
which my mom actually does, and it's how you take the horse and you make the horse.
It's funny you say that. Way back in the day, my mom used to do barrel racing with her horses. So yeah,
I can
know.
see that. I can
so-
see that.
yeah.
I can
So-
see your mom totally
She
doing
totally
that.
did.
So like, Ken Block thought like they have like they can make the well, what if we can make the cars dance like that and
Right.
do these maneuvers like that, and then came up with Gymkhana from Jim Cantor, but like made and
Yeah.
Just made his own stuff, and it was just
yeah.
going in and out of like the buildings and then around stuff, and then
Well, he might be doing a hairpin turn, but he's reversing into it 200 feet backwards before
while
he hits
there's
it.
Right.
while there's moving stuff, that, like the
Exactly.
turn isn't stationary. That turn, he's
Well,
now got to go
you know what,
around
I
two
mean-
moving objects. Like it's just
The thing is, though, it's beyond just the Gymkhana videos, and it's just the reach that he had with that thing, because he took sort of car culture, or he influenced car culture in a way, because he was taking these cars that were racing machines, because that's what he was using in the first ones. Was basically his rally cars, and it progressed into building things like the Hoonicorn and Hoonicorn V2.0 and then the truck and all of these things, but he basically was showing that.
well, and then also in the S
Cars.
too.
I mean, as much as we think about cars, none of us thought about cars and what a car could do the way he thought about it.
Yeah.
Because he was taking these cars and he was making them dance gracefully, howl with rage, and sing with joy all at the same time.
Yeah.
And he made everybody that watched his videos go, wow, that's freaking cool. And how many people started getting into cars, driving cars, racing cars, building their shit boxes, and doing all of these things and making their own videos because of what he did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, the impact he had on car culture as a whole is immeasurable.
Right.
I mean, a lot of us kind of like, we all think of like Cletus, because I mean, Cletus has blown up so much and he's earned everything that he's gotten. I mean, Cletus has done amazing things.
A lot.
But really, the explosion of sort of car culture and everything that we see, the drag racing with, Hoonicorn versus the World, all of the drag racing stuff, all of the drifting stuff, all of the crazy
Came
car
from
build stuff,
Ken doing
Into
stuff
video
like that.
games.
you know,
even,
all of
like,
that stuff. But I mean, it's like
yeah,
he kind of opened a lot of people's
He did.
eyes as
he
to
really did.
what could be possible,
Right.
and spawned all of these things.
Damn,
and us
Brian.
as car guys notice this because this is what we do. We all like cars, so we all watch videos. We all do stuff with our own cars. But the world as a whole, we're still almost invisible.
Right.
Because the same night that happened, you had the NFL player collapse on the field with a heart attack.
It wasn't a cardiac arrest.
Cardiac arrest.
He
Well,
got, the
what
way he got hit and
whatever.
all that.
Okay,
yeah.
so you had him.
Which he's doing good. He's
And also
he's,
you had-
his
you
first
had-
his first his first words to the doctor as soon as like he became fully conscious and all that.
Did we
was,
win?
Did we win the
Did we
game?
win the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, so
So-
you had him happening, and then at the same time you also had that Jeremy Renner,
Renner.
actor. I guess.
Renner.
Another snowmobile accident.
No, a snowcat.
It was
A goddamn snowcat.
A cat.
How the fuck do you run yourself over with a snowcat when you're operating a snowcat? Because you have to be in the cab to operate it. Anyway, the newscasts that night were all about the NFL player and the actor.
Right.
Gonna say I never saw anything about Ken.
Bingo.
Nobody
So-
said anything.
So as much of an impact as Ken Block had on the car culture and the car community, and as much as we all appreciate everything that he showed us, as much as we like to think that the car culture is more pop culture, it's
Still not
really
recognized
not.
like that.
Yeah.
We are still a very small portion
Yeah,
of the
Shelby
world.
had no idea what Gymkhana was.
It's
And
not-
I showed her, and she's like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah,
How
like I
have I
said-
never
Hey,
seen
can
this
you bring me
before?
out a beer when you come up?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
well,
but
and
like-
the
like I
only
said,
other
so-
thing that like comes to that is like with the Jay Leno stuff. I mean, the only reason he was in the news and all that when he got burnt and all that
wasn't because of his car.
Car
It was
stuff.
because,
Well, I mean, it was
because not
because
because
of
he was
that.
a car guy.
It's
because he was a
he's-
late night pop
yeah.
culture guy.
Right.
And
But-
it's sad. It's very sad because of that. Because it's one of the also with like when Dale Earnhardt died. Like,
Dale Earnhardt got a lot of, like I said, Dale Earnhardt got a lot of press on the news because that happened at a live event.
yeah.
Right.
But besides that,
You know
it
what I
was
mean? That-
more of like ESPN or like the
It was
sporter.
it was all
sporting
over the
things.
place. Like I said, it was all over the place when that happened because there was a lot of, Daytona 500 winner,
Yeah.
7-time NASCAR champion Dale Earnhardt died at Daytona. Da 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 da. And they all replayed parts of the crash, and then they eventually said, okay, maybe that's a bad taste. So they stopped showing parts of the
Yeah.
crash, but then they all showed the press conference that Mike Helton at the time, head of NASCAR at the time,
Didn't say when you see a
Gave,
grown
when- you know,
man
when he-
that size cry, you know.
like I said, that was all over the news for that whole week when you saw that replay of the video of Mike Helton doing the press conference outside going,
we lost
we
Dale.
lost Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
That got played a lot. But there were still a lot of people who's Dale Earnhardt? What's this NASCAR
Yeah.
thing?
Right.
You know what I mean? And now, with Ken Block, it's even more under the radar than NASCAR and Dale Earnhardt was.
Right.
Even though Dale Earnhardt got a lot of coverage,
But to
Like I
us,
yeah,
a god has been, a god has gone to heaven. That's
Yeah.
what happened
That's-
to us.
but like I said, it's not only that. I think of
I saw a
I mean,
TikTok video that summed it up perfectly. Ken Block going, man, where am I? And
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker going, yeah, it's cool, man. We
That was a
just
good
race
race,
up here. That's
yeah.
what we
Yeah.
do. And Dale Earnhardt in his number 3 going, come on, kid, you got a car or not? And him going, yeah, I think I got some. And a flash into the unicorn.
you know what?
It's also one of those. I didn't realize also how old he was.
He's 55 years old. Like
Yeah.
I said, I knew he was
He's
a little
not-
bit older than me.
Well,
Like I said,
no.
Here's
I
the other
mean,
thing,
no,
too.
I thought he was in his 40s with.
Oh.
with
and
it,
here's
is
the
what
other
I'm
thing.
saying. I'm not
Like I said,
saying,
for
like,
me
Yeah, I
specifically,
got you.
so for me specifically, he's 5 years older than I am. That man has done way more with his life
Right.
than I could even think about doing.
Well, he had an extra leg.
Well, he did have an extra leg. I'll give him that.
Right.
But
I
I
love you,
mean,
Brian.
look at all the, and again, because of doing things with cars, look at all the places in the world that he saw.
Yeah.
Asia, China, Middle East, Australia, United States, North America, South America. The guy was all over the globe.
He got to race McRae. X Games.
Yeah.
What was it, 2002, I think, and
Yeah.
all that, when he was it was his first time doing it. I think it was.
Yeah.
It was a no fear card. Is what
Yes.
he was,
Yeah.
The energy.
You know,
drink
but
one.
again, like I said,
And
so
the
I
only
mean,
reason he won was and it was a dead ass race, but McRae ended up hitting the barrier and flipping the car over, and then his co-driver is like, "Slow down." He flipped, and he didn't care. He's just hand out the window, just fucking send it, hit 3 barriers. They're like, "Just make it to the finish line." He's like, "But I beat him! I beat him!" Like that.
but yeah, like I
that's
said,
awesome.
so but I mean, like I said, I mean, my observation of it was, you know, like I said, because maybe it's because I'm the old guy of all of us. Maybe I just look at things weird. I'm not sure, but that was the thing that I kind of noticed was, as much of the car community through Instagram and Twitter and on YouTube and various places on social media, you saw the car community as a whole just come out and be like, "Holy shit, rest in peace, what a legend," and everybody was sharing stories of how he influenced them.
Right.
You know what he did for him, and also too think of like the personalities that we know just because of Ken Block.
Yeah.
Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of us would know about Hurt on his own, but the fact that Hurt was part of Hoonigans, he just became,
Yeah.
you know, and so I mean, you know, what a cool dude Hurt is,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, you know, Hurt and Brian Scotto, and you see all these guys from the Hoonigan, and you do all the stuff that they're doing, and you see all of the people that he influenced, and you're like, wow, this is, you know, pretty big. But then you look at media as a whole, and there wasn't a mention of it.
Right.
Only in the past couple of days did I see a small mention here or a small mention there. Hey, Ken Block died on Monday, but not like say an actor died, or say a newscaster died, or say I've even seen, you know, bigger stories on the news about TikTok people that have died than I saw about Ken Block.
Yeah.
Well,
And it just, that's the part of it that I'm kind of taking away, is like, as much as car culture is important to us because we all like cars and we all see all the videos, to the world as a whole, we're still very small.
well, all I can say at this point, and I've got just this last little bit of beer,
I got a new one.
to Ken.
To Ken.
So,
So yeah, 2022 starting out shitty.
Bring a trailer.
23.
23.
2022 sucked ass too. So
like I said,
2020's been
like
a
I
long
said,
year.
2020's been a hell of a year. So, we're going to move on to our last segment,
Yeah.
which
The first
is
Bring a trailer of the car.
the bad
Of the
car
car of
is
2023.
This did
That's
not
cold.
come from Bring a Trailer.
Oh, it didn't?
This came
it's
from
the Cars and
this
Bits?
came from Cars and Bits.
Nice.
hey.
Well,
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and bring up the pictures here.
So I'm gonna say,
Let's get these rolling.
okay, there we go.
And we are looking at a
No
Subaru Brat.
Does it
Okay.
still have the seats in the back?
Nope.
No.
What?
Okay.
The chicken tax seats are missing.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I'm calling Australia.
So here's the thing. This one's a little rough.
Yeah.
When I'm usually looking for these cars, I usually try to find clean examples or nice examples.
It looks clean. What are you talking about?
And I don't know-
It's rough. It looks good so far.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why, but as soon as I saw this little nugget,
Door jams are cleaner than
You
mine.
thought of me?
I was like, no. As soon as I saw this little nugget, I'm like, you know what? That's the car. And then I started looking at all the pictures of it, and I'm
Say
going,
nugget.
okay, this thing's a little rougher than I thought.
It's not looking
It's,
rough at
it's a
all.
little rough.
It's
It is.
tiny, tiny bit, but...
Keep going, keep going.
That's a little rough.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Okay, but here's
But
here.
this is
here's-
something that we could afford.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what actually kind of clinched it for me is when I saw the mileage. So what we have here is a 1986 Subaru Brat GL 4-speed manual part-time 4-wheel drive, halo twin roof, aka pop-up
Yep.
T-tops, mostly unmolested, and it is showing 281,900 miles on the clock.
Massive.
Hell yeah!
So it has a 1.8 liter flat four.
That
it's a
makes it
four-wheel
better
drive,
shape
all-wheel
for
drive
what it is.
drivetrain, 4-speed manual transmission. It is a small
under-
trucklet. It does not have the chicken tax seats.
Love me the old trucklets.
A clean Washington title, and it is a dealer.
Oh, dealer tax.
And so Doug's take on this car is, wow, our first Subaru Brat is
Whoa!
here.
Oh!
These ultra quirky little trucks featured a part-time 4-wheel drive system, a small bed that's perfect for hauling outdoors gear,
Oh!
and a flat 4 engine.
Oh,
This
that-
example
that's
boasts
rough.
4-speed manual transmission that enhances the driving experience.
The
and a cool
outside
Halo
looks
twin
so
rig.
much better.
And no major modifications. It has just over 250,000 miles, but that shows just how tough these little trucks can be. And the clean, accident-free car pressure report should give the bidders peace of mind. No reserve further enhances this brat's appeal. So, yeah.
Anytime I see one, all I think about is remember that one that we saw
At
Friday
Thunder
Night
with the
Thunder?
blow-up dolls.
In the
It had
chicken
chicken
seats,
It had
and it
chicken
had
taxi.
2 fucking cheap, like $20 blow-up dolls strapped into the chicken seats at the local car show in the downtown. And we're
was-
like, we
I
walk by,
actually-
I'm like, it's a Brett!
Oh
my God!
I actually have. I think 2 phones ago. I think I actually still have pictures of that.
So
Picture
the
of it.
place that it's being sold at has a sign that says Credit Union Financing.
Oh
So
yeah.
this is a
buy here, pay here place.
pay here line.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but boys, this is one of our cars. This is
I say, so,
this would be one of us driving by it on like
So
the
it
side
has
of the road.
cloth
going,
and
I
"We're
vinyl-
gonna
so
have
fucking
to
get
have it. I
So
have to
it
have
has, admittedly, what is left of the cloth and vinyl upholstery.
Right.
Yeah, what is left?
Modifications reported by the seller include a spray-in bed liner, a trailer hitch, and diamond plating on top part of the tailgate, which means there's rust there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, see, the
So-
reason
but
it
so-
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. It may not be rust, but it's bashed in by something falling on it.
So the
Correct.
reason the interior is like that because instead of putting the chickens in the back, they put the chickens in the front
Inside.
and they tore up the interior.
But it's also a 1982 Japanese car with 250,000 miles on it.
True. All right, bids go.
So I'm trying to see if there's anything else that comes up. Rated at 73 horsepower.
Ooh. 60 now.
$2,500.
Oh yeah, it
Bob.
says jump seats removed.
$37.50.
It literally even said that they were removed, though. That's sad.
Do they come with it or are they non-existent?
They're not
It just I don't know. It says some service information appears in the attached Carfax history report.
It has an
Right.
oil change record from 130,000 miles. In it.
I shoot high.
It comes with one set of keys and an owner's manual.
I shoot high.
Okay,
Hey.
okay, sorry, 2,600.
I know I'm shooting high. 4K. 4K. I'm shooting high.
Yeah.
Now,
4K.
to be fair, this
To
is
be
actually,
fair.
to be fair, this is actually a fairly clean
It is.
example
Yeah,
of one of
yeah,
these.
just the inside's kind of
Just
rough.
put
but
some
But
seat
that's
covers on it.
listen. That is literally that's still clean
yeah,
Put some
it
seat
is.
for its
covers on it.
age. That is clean.
Okay, here's the
4K,
thing. Okay, so
4K.
I'm looking at the comments right now. I'll read you the first 3. So the first one is, I'm so glad I was busy today and missed watching this auction. I'd have bid much higher. Someone got an amazing deal. They aren't making any more brats. Wow, what a great buy on a super cool and rare car. If this hadn't been on the far side of the country for me, I would have been bidding
Is
on it.
way cheap then?
And cool little brat.
Don't do that to us.
26, man.
Yeah,
37.50.
I was thinking 26. Oh,
So Mike's got 26.
shit.
You did say 4. Where are you
yeah,
at?
4.
37.50.
4.
37.50. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're probably not going to believe this.
I'm not gonna believe this.
Let me guess, like $9,000.
$4,000.
Oh, Dan got it.
He wins the
got the first one.
$10,000 prize.
Nose.
Shit, there's the prize money. Here, you know what you get?
It's
An empty beer
10,000.
can.
It's 10,000 schmeckles, which is equal to an empty beer can.
Yay! Yay, Dan!
First one of the year, Dan gets, and he gets it on the nose. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well, hey, we'll do like the Beatles did to Ringo Starr. Yay! Your picture's on the fridge. Yay!
So I'm actually shocked that it went that high.
I kind of am too, because when I looked at the interior, saw the dash was cracked, seats
It's a
were roached.
$1,500 car.
But
Yeah.
also too, like I said, looking at the underside, did you notice the one picture of the subframe rail that was absolutely looked like it was fiberglass?
Yes.
It was-
Well,
Why do you think I said 2,600?
so I said, I'm going high. I no.
Let's see if the chat said anything. Hold on. Old school said 7,800.
I
Oh.
was going high.
Oh,
Well,
maybe
anyway.
for a nicer one.
Yeah, maybe for the one we
CS
saw with
Auto
the blow-up
called
dolls
it a
in the back.
Bondo brat.
It
Yeah,
was a
maybe for the
Bondo
ones we
brat.
saw in the with the
Why
blow-up
is it
dolls.
leaking oil out of the muffler? That's normal.
It was a dark place.
Hold
with
on.
the lighting,
That's a
the picture.
feature, not a bug.
It's also
It's
a
a
boxer
quirk and a
motor.
feature.
It's a Subaru. They do that.
Oh, it was cars
They
and
do
bids.
that.
It had to be a quirk.
Yeah, it's a quirk.
It has
Not a-
quirks.
it's a
It has
quirk
quirks and
feature.
features.
It's a quirk and feature, you know.
Well, anyway, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys, and it's been a pleasure.
29.
Oh yeah, and we'll talk about it more next time as well
no,
too.
no,
But then we're going to talk about it now too, of
Yes,
course.
we
But we're
are.
probably going to bring it up again, is what I'm saying too.
Yes, I know.
The
but I need to find
29th, we're having a.
it. Hold on. Let me find it.
Well,
Let me
Wrench
find it.
Monkeys is having a memorial benefit show. The 29th, right?
Someone in our local car affiliate clubs has
There you go. Sorry.
passed away, and we will be having a memorial benefit car show for him.
It's for Justin Brown. He was in an accident, and it wasn't like a reckless driving thing. It was just an unfortunate accident, and he has passed away. We're going to be having a benefit for him on the 29th of January at Wrench Monkeys Automotive. Expected 150 plus car show right now. So make sure you guys go check out Wrench Monkeys
What time does it
Automotive.
start?
11 a.m.
Okay.
So on that note, guys,
We're gonna post it to the page.
Yeah, on our page.
on that note, guys, it's been a pleasure this evening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more car ridiculousness and idiocy.
Yeah, the same. Go for it, Dan. Go
Can
for
number 1. Miss.
Fail.
Can number 2. Score.
Score nothing but net.
Come on.
That's 2. That's
I
2.
swear to God, don't throw a fucking bottle. Don't throw a fucking bottle.
That's 2.
All right.
Dan, we know that you have an issue with gravity.
All right,
Here,
guys.
hey,
have a good night.
empty cigarette pack.
Have
There you
a
go.
good
That's
night,
you can do the
everybody.
least amount of damage with
I
that.
don't want to.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Hey,
everybody.
Don't fucking throw shit.
I was joking.